Hey, yo, what's poppin'? It's Friday night. It's about just a hangout, really, because I don't know if you guys know, there's no comic books. So we really have very little to talk about, but I'm going to get to the chat before we get to the panel. I want to say hello to Chris Barrett, and I want to say, what's going on there, Mr. James Fadley? Hey, Jason, you're in there.
Hey, I'm here. Yeah.
Comic Man Andy is in there. We also got that's about it. So it's a happening night. Half our crew's working or sleeping. And but it wouldn't be a Friday. It wouldn't be a Friday night. Oh, we got the StreamYard element.
There we go.
Yeah, thank God.
The robots
now
are
we're
watching.
cooking with gas.
Well, it wouldn't be a Friday night without Cat Ren and Odin.
Hi.
Odin.
Odin, say hi.
What are you eating today, Odin?
Got his tail wagging. I like it.
He is not eating hot chips, apparently.
He's very upset about it. He's
He
not
does not
allowed
have-
to eat hot chips.
He does not
That'll
have
make
pink
him
eye,
sick.
so that's good.
He does not have pink eye, unlike some dogs.
My dog does because I farted in his face.
I told you to stop.
That's sweet revenge.
Shit. We've got the Wednesday night show representing here with
Hey.
Comic Books Explained.
Yeah, man. What's going on? Happy to be here. It's nice. I don't have to work at my bar job anymore on the weekends, so it's been nice having Friday and Saturday off. The last couple of weekends I've been sleeping, so I'm just happy to be awake and see you guys live. So awesome.
And the person that gives himself the best shout outs, that's right, the great one himself.
Man, what's going down, fans? It's the Great Legend coming at you live from Comic-Con Roundtable, where tonight we just gonna be cold chilling like a villain on Trinity Entertainment's Penicillin. That's what I'm talking about, Chad.
That's fun. You want to talk about synchronicity?
Were you thinking about old Jeremy today? One of the classics.
We've got a surprise guest later.
Well, it's about time Michael came home. No, actually, Jeremy's coming home, so it'll be good to see him, though.
We got 1/4 of when what the hell show was that called? I can't remember it. But Paul Midwest, you used to be. Well, he's on Golden Guys. Everybody knows that. But I don't remember. Anyway, what's up? Who cut your hair?
Me?
Good.
It looks like it.
I don't care.
Dude. Like I am envious of it. That my hair is awful. It is.
I told you to have Jenny cut it.
Once they said it's going to be about another month before they open them up, I said, you know what? I'll just cut it myself, and by the time they open back up, it'll be ready for a real cut.
I tried to buy a Flowbee on eBay today. I swear.
What's a Flowbee?
Oh my
God!
God!
Wayne's World.
You don't know what a Flowbee is?
It definitely sucks.
I got to go back to Cat before we jump over because we've got Mark BKR.
Yeah, let's make some drinks online.
Who's Mark?
No, Mark, speaking of haircuts, do you want to tell them what you were asking me to do to your head?
I said earlier to her, because we're in quarantine and it's the beginning of a bad dystopian book, I want a mohawk.
Oh, all right, classic.
I said no.
Right
so that way I can join the riots and look proper.
Yeah. Are you building a guillotine?
Mine's already going back some. I pretty much took it down to nothing.
So this is going to be a fun night because we're going to talk about some stuff when we were a kid, and I have a feeling that Kat and Mark are going to make us feel really old. So
how you feeling? They don't even know what a Flowbee is.
Talking about old, we've got the man in the chair. Look at his new setup. I like that, JD. How is that working out?
Working on it. I really have a big mess over here, but I got to work on that next. So.
It's like a shrine to Vader Thanos. I like it.
Today.
You know what? I got to ask you a question.
Bay?
What's that?
Vader behind you? Or is that him snapping?
That's him snapping the
That's
Infinity.
Salt Bay.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Salt Bay.
It should be Salt Bay Vader.
That
doesn't look like it.
The first time I saw it, I thought he was wearing like a cleaning glove.
No, I always knew. You can always tell when that's the Thanos snap, man.
He snapped himself.
He looks like Salt Bay Vader.
He's
I like
killing
it.
himself right now.
Yeah, he
That's
snapped
the best
himself,
way
yeah.
to suicide right there.
Gabriel Howard done April 3rd, 2020 with Little John 3:16 on Good Friday.
Awesome. Nice.
Little Stone Cold 316.
Okay, I'm going to jump back to that chat, and I'm going to say, what is going
Sit on
up?
his foot.
Yo, Count Von Stranger's in the house.
The
JB
comic
from
book-
Discovery Bay highlighted him recently today. So everyone comment whatever the word of the day was at Count Von Strange's video. So
Nice. We also had comic book G-Spot. Mr. Galvin is in the house.
What up, Calvin?
Man, one of the best.
And Midwest. If comic book G-Spot would like to join us, hit us up somehow, and we will send you the link. But anyway, here's my thoughts. We have nothing to read. We've been watching a lot of TV. What have you guys been doing while you've been quarantined? Oh, I made a rhyme, Legend.
Dude, you did a damn good rhyme. Let me tell you, one of the shows that I've enjoyed watching while being quarantined is the Man in the High Castle on Amazon Prime.
yeah, that's great.
4 seasons of just freaking epicness. There's 10 episodes in each season. It starts out in an alternate reality where what if the Nazis in Japan won World War II? Say if there was a reality where in 1933 the assassination of Roosevelt went through, so FDR, man, he had to gone too soon, and then they end up years later, dropping, I think 45 or 1946, they dropped a big bomb on the White House, man, and it was just freaking done, dude. But anyway, alternate reality storyline and how the people in that reality, some of them have gifts that can visit other parallel worlds, and they can see that in some of these parallel worlds, United States won World War II. So if you're into the alternate reality, the parallel world theme, or I guess, hypothesis or ideology, the parallel worlds, man, I'm a huge fan of that stuff, so I thought it was damn cool. Another thing that I've been watching as I'm all caught up on the dark side of wrestling. So I've watched the Benoits, the part 1, part 2, Chris Benoit tragedy. I watched the New Jack documentary, and then I watched the Brawl for All documentary, and all those have been really good. And I need to get back into some reading. I have some hardcovers. I have Deceased by Tom Taylor. I have Paper Girls Deluxe Edition Volume 2, which is issues 11 through 20. And then I've got, the Before Rorschach stuff, just tons of stuff to read. It's just deciding what
The New Jack should have won an Emmy.
Do you like it that much?
I mean, it's like the man is crazy, but he speaks intelligently, and he just sit there and he goes, "Yeah, I tried to kill his ass."
Everyone has different gimmicks. Orange Cassidy hits soft. New Jack hits hard, Chad.
We aren't really diving into any of the mainframe stuff tonight. But I do want to give a shout out to this comment here. The comic book G-Spot says, fantastic. It is, and it's a Ridley Scott making that. That's why it was so awesome. We have a guy that is helping us out a ton, who is, for all intents and purposes, like a Ridley Scott helper, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know which one of you can talk about it. I know both of you interviewed him, right?
Yep, Jason and I interviewed Ryland Grant, and he was he's a script finisher, which is like kind of like a production editor of the script for a lot of Ridley Scott films. Jason, him and I interviewed him at Baltimore. Jason and I interviewed him at Baltimore. Just a great interview overall. We interviewed him before he won the Ringo, and then we talked to him right after the Ringos. It was great.
Yeah.
Fun. And we have to say that Jason brought up the point. I think you're right, Jason. I think we pushed him over that top.
We got the Comic Corp bump. Is that why he won the award?
If you want to win Best Picture,
Oh man, I love Ryland Grant. He's been such a big help too for the Mainframe Comic Con. He's my homie. He gave me, after he won that award, they gave him a gift of this giant Iron Man classic Iron Man comic box set. And he gave it to me. He's like, "Hey man, I don't have any room for this," and it was awesome hanging with you and meeting with you from hanging out on Comic Cast, And I was like, "Thanks, dude, appreciate it, man. That's awesome." And so I have this giant Iron Man box set. It's upstairs, safe and protected in my bedroom.
You know what else?
Love that guy. Love that guy.
You know what else is awesome is that nice new beard hanging on that face.
Thanks, man. I've just been too lazy to shave it. It'll be gone probably before mainstream Comic Con. Be a little cleaner for interviews and stuff. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, it's awesome. Thanks. It's no Andy beard though, or Alex White Whale beard.
Pay it.
Might well. Pay it
We
forward,
do
right?
like
I
to
mean,
pay
we
it
always
forward.
pay it forward on the Comic Core.
Yeah, that's right.
And honestly, super great guy. And I think I'm going to try to share this real quick. Let me put it in here. Downloads. There we go. Downloads.
Singing Buddy Holly down here, people. We got Comic Man Andy in the house. Where's that line? All right,
So-
hold on now, John's Comic Quiz. There is,
Here.
oh boy, singing that freaking Woody
Yes.
Allen.
Love it.
Yes, thank you for showing this.
So this is up for your consideration. And you want to talk to it, Jason?
There you
Yeah, Banjax was so awesome. He, if believe it or not, he put the robot from Rocky IV inside Banjax.
Cool.
He made it a character. We have a huge unabashed love for Rocky IV, Rylan Grant and I. And last year he won, I believe, for best villain created for Aberrants, and this year looks like Banjax, which is my preferred one, is up for a bunch of awards. Best writer, Rylan Grant. He's like the secret most interesting man in the world. You know, he has so many crazy activities and things he does behind the scenes. Yeah, he's like a Buddhist like priest. You know, dude's amazing. But yeah, best series, best artist, Fabio Alves. Best letter, HDE. Best colors, Edson Ferreira. Best cover artist, Fabio Alves. Dude, Banjax is incredible. If you have not checked it out, please go to Comixology. They have that's on sale along with David Papo's Spencer and Locke. Those two volumes are for sale as well on Comixology. You can get them for super cheap, and they're worth every penny. They're so good. I love Banjax. Love Rylan Grant.
And super last plug, both those guys that you just mentioned will be doing some really cool stuff at Mainframe. So
Yes,
I
they will.
thought they were going to be at the Sanctatorium with you.
Sanctatorium. Oh, well,
The Doctor Strange.
Sanctorum is my background.
Sorry, Marvel Phase 3. I don't know.
No, that's Sanctum Centaurum. That's
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
good. JD loves Doctor Strange.
absolutely.
Paul, what have you been watching?
Well, I finally watched Tiger King.
Yeah. Carol Baskin.
Well, wait. I actually read an article today
Carol
that
Baskin is a murderer.
Before we get into that, I would like to come back to that and ask a question because I read a really cool article about Tiger King and comics. So that's pretty awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get back to and a couple of shows I've always wanted to watch, but it was either I was working nights at the time or whatever. I've been binging on Stargate SG-1.
Oh, cool.
And I think next up is probably Clone Wars.
Oh, yeah. My son
Yeah.
watching that one. Is SG-1 the one with old
MacGyver.
MacGyver in it? Dang, I got to watch that show. I like the movie. I never saw the show much, though.
Yeah, I'd never seen an episode before.
That's another
All right.
thing that can happen in this real digital reality we live in now. Possibly you can open up portals to other parallel worlds. That's some of the coolest sci-fi ever.
Before we jump over to, I'm sorry, go. If you weren't done, I thought you were done. Sorry.
And the aforementioned Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah.
And like I said in the chat, the best part of the one about New Jack was the look on D'Lo Brown's face when Jack started stabbing the guy with the Wolverine claws.
Yeah.
He was like, oh.
So
That's
I want to give a shout out to that chat before we hit up Cat. But Justin Reekins in there, Midwest Comic Man still in there, John's Comics with Kid, super stoked to have him in there. Ricky Markstead is in there. I saw somebody. I don't want to miss anybody. All right, so Cat and Ren.
Cat and Ren.
Ren Sippy, yeah, Cat and Ren.
Yeah.
So Mark and Kat, what awful shows have you been watching? I mean, what have you been watching?
All right, so
So basically, what she's been forcing me to watch.
you actually like some
You
of it.
do what you're told,
Okay,
son.
look. Okay,
You
so
shut up, Mark.
First off, three
Mark's
main
gonna end
things
up back
we've
in the
really
box.
been watching here recently. Netflix has been pumping a lot of really awesome anime that I've never had a chance to watch. So we've been watching Beast Stars together on Netflix. We've been watching Sword Art Online and Akame ga Kill, which is an anime all about assassins. and it's kind of fantastic. And that's the one that's really got him hooked. They killed off one of the characters last episode, and he got upset over it.
Okay, I wasn't that upset over it.
You were upset over it. You were like, she's dead. They killed her. He's like, but they'll bring her back next episode, right? And I looked at her, I was like, I don't know, I've never seen this before. He's like, I need answers. And they start off the next episode and they're like dealing with her body. And he's like, no. But
did you watch Castlevania yet? Castlevania's fantastic.
Not yet. It's on my watch list. It's on my watch list.
Great. Good.
Yeah, Castlevania was really good.
I've also been rewatching What We Do in the Shadows because my boy Legend knows.
Yes.
We're going to have season 2 coming out soon. Very excited about that. So I'm rewatching a lot of those episodes. And last but certainly not least, I have been watching Easter Bunny themed horror films.
Oh. Yeah, this is good. This is where it gets real good because she watches terrible shit and it makes me laugh.
I do. Okay, so this started because my mom found a film that she's like, you need to watch this.
Nope.
She'd never seen it before, but she just saw like the cover of it on one of the streaming platforms.
I'm just gonna let you know it's by Uncorked Production.
Yeah, she didn't know that.
Is it a porno?
It was Beaster Day. And it starts off real bad, and it goes downhill real quick. I turned it off.
If you turned it off, it would have had to been like. So was it a porno?
It was basically.
I was getting it.
The name, it sounds like furry porn.
It was starting to get there. Like it was an Easter bunny monster, but like it looked more like a rat thing, and its like movements were like this, and it was really weird. I do not suggest it. But on my watch list, we started watching the Bunny Man movies.
Oh, the Bunny Man's Massacre.
We watched the Bunny Man Massacre.
What's going on? The Roman Curtis is watching 3 auctions and the Comic Core all.
Yeah.
Roman bid on some good stuff, brother. Roman's one of the best bidders and sellers.
Yep.
In the auction.
He's bought a lot. He's bought a lot.
But Bunny Man Massacre. We're 20 minutes in, and I'm like, there's no story with this. It's literally just him walking around killing people. And he's like, isn't that the point? And I was like, probably. We just kept
scary. I love how me and Chad, we always listen to the cat whenever she reads or watches these new horror movies. Man, they're pretty violent, but they're pretty cool too.
So, JD, what have you been doing to fight off quarantine?
Quarantines.
Shout out to Chicago Comics. Mainframe. I picked up a bunch. I haven't even opened these yet. These are all Punishers and some Star Wars. And I've got Comic Man Andy turned me on to the War General story. So I just started opening.
Dope.
I got all of them. I got 80 issues of the Punisher and a bunch of Star Wars and War of the Realms stuff from all Chicago Comics. And they put their logo on the back. They had a link to their eBay site, and they had things that I haven't been able to find anywhere, like the whole Shadows of the Empire set. All
Dark Horse. Yeah,
I have the
Bash fucking Rendar. Hell yeah, the Outrider.
Yeah. I had the original video game and the.
I wish they'd remake that. Oh.
My wife is playing regular Nintendo Mario 3 right now. I hear that.
Nice. I love it. That's a good one.
Oh, that's cool.
Might be able to find a copy of that on the PC somewhere, but
I wish they'd remake that game.
Yeah. Had the one variant I've never been able to find.
Oh wow, I've never seen that one. Yeah.
I've only seen pictures of it, and they had it there it came with the package, so I don't even know how much. I mean, it wasn't that much for all these books and all the War of the Realms variants that I didn't have, especially.
Oh wow.
This one's ridiculous. I don't like the.
It's a Delato.
Is it? This is Delato. This is I don't know who it is, but it's Malekith, who I know.
Yeah, that's great.
Very good in the movie, but I liked him in the movie. I thought it was done Malekith style. The only problem is that they killed him off, which he doesn't really die.
Yeah, they kill every villain. Yeah.
Picked up one of the great Avengers stories that tributes the Golden Age to the Bronze Age, I guess you'd say. You got the original. You got the Frankenstein monster. You got the original Human Torch. You got Midnight, which people might know is a very old, timely character. Wasp back here, and versus Thor versus Frankenstein, very cool. Legend, look what I got here.
That is a classic. The book and the record set.
In mint condition, I found.
Oh,
it.
wow. That's
And
awesome.
This
Dude.
one missing of that one. This is good, and I have a record player, and I might open it anyway. I don't care.
I
Yeah.
collect
so
those
cool.
records.
John
Dude,
Buscema
knock
took
it out.
two classic Buscema covers that I think I already. This is like a double or a triple. This one, but I just love it. The guy threw it in along with this one, and I picked up
that's
Tiny
awesome.
Tales,
Ooh.
which is I think Saul Brodsky. Paul, you might. This isn't Golden Guys, but this could be Saul Brodsky. Just looking at it, I don't think it's Rathis. And Out of the Swamp, a very early swamp creature.
Ooh.
Definitely
Now, are these
right
all
there.
coming at us live from Chicago Comics here?
And I've been reading
Good.
my normal Hemingway. I think I'm reading. What am I reading now? Old Man in the Sea.
Hemingway.
I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah,
So-
Hemingway.
Okay.
Gone too soon.
1950s
Gone.
version.
Wow, that.
And, I've literally been selling a lot of my comics. The
What
older
about
one-
Hemingway's daughter from Superman 4? Remember that? Mariel Hemingway.
Mariel.
Woo!
She was a vixen. She was in a Playboy too.
Yeah.
JD,
But yes.
I would highly suggest that when you go to listen to that record, you get super drunk right before. Because you just close your eyes and just imagine it.
Oh, it's perfect. I can't wait to do it. I mean, I had the GRR, the Golden Record reprint of Fantastic Four still sealed, and I always wanted to open it, but then somebody offered me a lot of money for it, and I'm like, yeah, I can always get it again. I've never been able to find the complete set again. It's one of those things. But I have been selling a lot of my higher end books to try to upgrade this, reduce the collection. But then when I had a little extra cash, I saw Chicago Comics, and I said, you know what? Let me see what you have in your eBay store. And they had a plethora of great stuff and so reasonable prices. They have like $3 books, $2 books, and stuff that would run fillers for me. So I sat there for like 4 hours and just get click, 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 put in the cart, and I said, let's do it. And they shipped it ridiculous. And it says on their seller was away. I got it within less than a week, and I still haven't opened up.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a huge haul.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I've read a couple books this week.
Yeah, what'd you read?
The first thing I read was Helter Skelter,
Oh,
and then I went into the Zodiac.
Oh, very good.
You went down that rabbit hole.
I read American Predator.
True crime.
wow.
Then I read Ulysses by James Joyce,
Ulysses, great Irish book.
and then Start with Why and Good to Great.
Are you that just sounds totally real quick? Working in a library, all those books you listed, a lot of classic books like Good to Great, all that. Are you fucking bullshit? Did you really read all these books? These are classics. Are
And
you
then the other one was the Oz Principle.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
you guys read that one.
I read the Oz Principle. Like that's a good book. It has a bunch of good.
You read all those in a week?
Over 2.
Oh, okay, 2 weeks. I didn't know if you had read them all today.
This is like an afternoon read now. I mean, all the Hemingways are
Old
reading.
Man and the Sea. Yeah.
And I watched final season the third season of Ozarks.
I heard that's awesome. I've never seen it.
Well, I'll wait till Paul gets back here, but most of us have watched The Tiger King. And
Yes.
so these are the books. This article was awesome, and I'll read it to you guys. It says, viewers on the lookout for more drama after watching The Tiger King Murder, Mayhem, and Madness over on Netflix may want to sink their teeth into comics and graphic novels with characters every bit as interesting as Joe Exotic and his 3 husbands, or as frightening as that mystery of Carol Baskin and her husband, who may or may not have been fed to tigers.
Definitely fed to
He
tigers.
was fed to tigers.
So coming in at number 1
How do you miss this whole Tiger King thing?
is Southern Bastards.
Southern Bastards.
Southern
Jason
Bastards
Aaron.
is a good read.
Yeah, Jason
Yeah,
Aaron's
that's my
fantastic.
favorite comic.
So Jason Aaron's in both. It's a lovely letter to and hate rant about South. Southern Bastard presents a compelling introduction to a fictional town of Craw County, Alabama.
It's like walking tall.
It's
Sounds like Hazard County.
So number 2 And I absolutely love this book. And this book should have been made into a video game. 100 Bullets.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Love it.
Remember Dead to Rights? That was kind of, or Max Payne a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
That's
little
cool.
bullet time action.
Yeah.
Coming in at number 3, The Green River Killer by Gary Leon Ridgway and Tom Jensen.
No, I'm not familiar with that one. What's that one about?
Dude,
It's a true story that is truly disturbing. It tells the story of convicted serial killer Gary Leon Ridgway and Tom Jensen. I'm sorry, the detectives responsible for the apprehension and 100-day interview of the killer. Authored by the son of the detective, acclaimed writer Jeff Jensen, and the graphic novel tells the historic story of one American prolific serial killer, while also serving as a memoir of sorts to Detective Jensen. The master of horror himself, Stephen King, has praised this series as calling it one of the best reads in years.
Wow,
Dahmer.
that's high praise.
That sounds awesome.
Synchronicity. The next book up is called My Friend
Dahmer. Classic book. Classic graphic novel. One of the hottest graphic novels. I think it came out maybe in 2018, but they even turned that into a film as well, starring, I can't remember who played Dahmer, but I think it was the kid that, the older kid, someone in Stranger Things. I don't know, some teen actor.
Wait, I thought, what was the movie that there was a guy from
Minnesota, Ed Gein, Texas
Yeah.
Chainsaw Massacre. Toby Hooper directed 1970 some
Dude,
shit.
there's so many different
good shit.
films that are just based
About
around
serial
them.
killers.
Oh,
They
yeah.
was crazy, man. Remember who's the one?
Albert Fish eating the kids.
Manson. Remember the Manson?
Oh yeah,
You know?
Hey,
John
but
Wayne
kid
Gacy,
eating,
that's
kid
a
eating is always good eating.
yeah. The baby back ribs, right? No, it's not funny.
What's next on our list, Chad?
Good
And
protein.
the last one is Walking Dead.
Classic. Yep.
So, I guess, do we have any other films, documentaries, books, what have you, to add to this list? There are two that come to my mind.
Ooh,
I have
tell us.
one. So,
So, the two that come to my mind are both actually documentaries, or documentary style films. First off is Super Size Me 2 Holy Chicken.
No, that's all part one.
That's it's pretty fantastic. It's on Amazon Prime right now, I believe.
Same
Good,
guy
I'm
from part one.
Yeah, same
Yeah,
exact
nice.
guy.
All
And
right.
he deals with a lot of the
Burlock.
fallout from part one in part
Yeah,
two.
'cause I was totally against part one because I have a fast metabolism, which is probably why I didn't gain weight. But I ate pizza and fast food every day for years, like nothing but fast food, and I didn't gain a pound. And so here he is, saying the exact opposite. I'm like, dude, that's your own problem, man. That's what I mean.
That's
Like
your
that's not real.
metabolism.
So I don't know.
But
Yeah, the sample size of one is
another
not.
one. Anyway, another one is actually one of Drew Manchu's recommendations that he sent us to, and that was Hail Satan. Hail
Ooh.
Satan was hilarious.
Yes.
It was actually kind of funny.
It was so funny, and it dealt with the Church of Satanism and them dealing with them wanting to put their own, their own commandments and their own rules up there with the 10 Commandments,
Mhm.
and just arguing, freedom of religion and right to expression, and what that means to so many other people. And just the hate and a lot of the downfall from that was really eye-opening. Like, everyone talks about how, everyone should have the right to practice their own religion, but I only want them to worship my God.
Right. And it's funny because Satanists don't even believe in Satan. You know what I mean?
They really don't.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty much just atheists, but they, kind of concentrate on humanity instead of faith, and they try to put their money towards good causes and contributions and charities and things like that. And you get this huge slack from, the right wing and Christians. And it's really funny to see, like, ironically, people who say they're all about love promote so much hate. And meanwhile, you have these other people that are, promoting this, negative image of Satan, and they're putting out so much positivity. So it's quite interesting.
Well, we're
funny,
here
though.
at Comic Core. We are Switzerland.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's
shit.
right. That's right. Negative.
We
Red.
got, we got Jack Yo in the chat.
So we have the World Health
chat.
Organization.
One of the books I wanted to add to that list, which falls right in line with what a lot of you guys are reading, but it's done by Alan Moore. It's my favorite Alan Moore work, not named Swamp Thing, and it's called From Hell.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Graphic novel, which the movie was okay, but it doesn't really do justice, obviously, to Alan Moore's writing.
Right. Right.
It's one of those that I put it above V for Vendetta and on par with Watchmen. It's just a different style of Alan Moore. So they don't really compare as well as far as it compares more to V for Vendetta because it's that era, Victorian era of London and everything else, as opposed to Watchmen, which is much later.
Yeah.
Classic. I recommend you pick it up, and there's a prologue he does afterwards, which is maybe it wasn't Jack the Ripper and they never did catch him. It's just a great whole. If he's going with the serial killers, with the Victorian era, and with comic books, you got Alan Moore doing a great work.
Yeah. Yeah.
I recommend it. I recommend it definitely.
They recently re-released
What was that?
stuff, special
Somebody call?
editions.
That was Gene knocking something over.
Hey, it's Rob Worst is in the chat.
Hey, what's up, Rob?
Rob, if you want to come on and I'm instead of a comment. Hey, if you want to
CLT, man, great app to organize the comic collection.
if anybody wants to come on, they are more than welcome to hit us up. So go ahead, Jason. I'm sorry to cut you
Sheila
off.
Thompson in the chat. Flamin' Sheila.
All right, Flaming Sheila. I haven't seen you in a while. You doing all right?
Sheila Thompson.
All right. Jack
Sheila
Yo,
Thompson.
Forgotten Silver, a Peter Jackson mockumentary from the
Oh, neat.
90s. It's amazing. I'd never heard of that before.
Me either.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Thank you.
I got it. So everybody right now is, I mean, Carson turned me on to Comixology and some of the like other, and Legend has turned me on to a lot of the digital stuff. But like right now, I'm really enjoying graphic novels, and I just got this weird list of the top 100 graphic novels. Can we go through it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Love it.
And I guarantee you, Legend probably read half of these.
Probably.
Liz is reading Strangers in Paradise right now.
Oh, I heard that's great.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right, coming in at number 100, Nimona.
I've never heard of Nimona.
Yeah, so
Never
like
heard
a
of it.
flower growing from a lighthearted tale about an irrepressible girl with mysterious powers. The artwork's kind of cool looking. I mean,
Yeah, I'm not a huge fantasy guy. You know, it might not be for me, but who's me to say that it's not
This-
good? You know,
this
How
is
is
a little.
that 99? Watchmen.
I don't know if it's in that order. Let me see.
Oh, okay.
Here are some quick links to make it easier. So the top 100. Okay, these are just, I guess, their top 100, but in no particular order.
No particular order. Okay. I was just saying.
Watchmen, Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons' Watchmen coming in. Mouse.
Mouse Ear is amazing. Yeah,
That was
Last
good.
book.
Yes.
We had to read that as a seventh grade project.
This one here, its artwork on it is amazing.
Day Tripper.
Day Tripper. It was awesome. It was by Gabriel Ba and Fabian Moon. One Summer. I can't say I've ever read it.
No.
Sweet Tooth. Great read.
Yep, I've read
Jeff
it.
Lemire. Yeah, Jeff
Lemire. Sweet
Love
Tooth.
Lemire.
I remember that one.
Your book.
It's one of my brother's favorite.
Through the Woods.
They made a video game about that, I believe.
It's a slaughterhouse story. I'm surprised Kat hasn't read it.
Slaughterhouse.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
The tagline, it came from the woods, most strange things do.
Okay.
Damn, that is creepy.
Blankets by Craig Thompson. My favorite thing is monsters.
The Cat Ren story.
Jimmy Corrigan, the smartest kid on earth.
Not me.
Black Sad.
Yeah, Black Sad, I got all those. Yep, those are good hardcovers. They're kind of LA noir style, LA Confidential style, and they're this cat who's a detective gumshoe type. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm reading that. I'm gonna read that.
Yeah, I love anything detectives.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna find it and
Here.
read it. It's Cats and Detectives.
Here. Oh, here.
Here.
Reading reviews, comics get frustrating when the writer focuses solely on critiquing the story, ignoring the comics can only exist in the space where text and art come together. It's great then when a comic like Here comes along because it forces critics and readers alike to engage with the potential narrative power of wordless comic page. So I guess it's a wordless book, right?
So
Yeah,
just
that'd
my
be
And those are pretty classic, the wordless books.
They can be pretty powerful. I mean, look at what Tomasi did during the death
Batman.
of Robin.
Yeah.
Really?
Very powerful issue in comics.
How to Be Happy, 2015 by Eleanor Davis.
I think we might all need that book.
And Mega Hex.
Mega Hex, hey boy, I bet that's a thick block. I mean,
Will
Mega
Eisner,
Hex.
Is this-
That's a classic, yeah.
A Contract with God and
That's
other.
an old book.
Paul, did you read this one?
No.
That was the
Free Sentinel
Spirit
one.
Times. That's in the 40s, yeah.
The Color of Earth. Oh, Rob Horst is here.
Hey, what's up, Rob?
Bring him on. We'll get back to this. Wait, where's he at?
Hey.
Rob, you
There
there?
he is.
Right here.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, Rob?
Just had to get back in front of where I'm doing this because I have a 2-camera setup. There's one that
Ooh.
connects right in front of my face, and this over here when I'm doing the CLZ.
Nice.
And you're rocking the Rick and Morty shirt. I love
That's
it.
right.
I got it.
Dude, that
That
samurai episode was awesome.
There's only a few more days until the next episode, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Finally. Yeah.
When is it airing?
Sunday.
This Sunday.
I believe it's Easter Sunday.
Damn, that's awesome. More awesome than this.
The
Oh,
Goon.
the Goon.
There you
Great
go.
drawing.
Nice.
That's awesome remark.
Dude.
We're going through a list of comics or the top 100 graphic novels, and we're seeing if anybody knows. I've never heard this next one. It's called The Encyclopedia of Early Earth. Nobody?
Familiar.
No.
No.
Me neither.
Although, if you're going to be reading a graphic novel that is a complete storyline, you'd be hard-pressed not to pick up all of Transmetropolitan by Warren Ellis.
Yeah, I hear it's great.
That's a great read.
If you've never read it, it's basically Hunter Thompson in the future.
Nice.
Hey, I got to step away for a second, so I'm going to tag in Ledge. No? All right, he said no, but I'll be back. Series comics, Love and Rockets. Has anybody heard of that one?
Yeah,
Yes.
Love and Rockets.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love and
Eight.
Rockets, yeah. Jamie Hernandez, the Hernandez brothers.
Good band, too.
Can you bring up your side channel?
Yep. Hold on, here it comes. It looks like Dupe is on this cover. On 8-Ball.
Bring it up a little closer. Is there a way?
NPR.
NPR.
Here we go.
National Public Radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so, guys. Well, it might be.
No, if it's complete 8-ball, yeah, that's Fantagraphics. That's not Marvel. There's no dupe. But I'm sure he probably had a prototype dupe.
I can't make this. I can't hit the view. But let's keep on going.
Okay.
If this thing loads now. It's a weird website. Anyway, Jason, hit us up while this talk about what's going on.
All right. I mean, this is an awesome list, but I'm very unfamiliar with a lot of these.
No, well, Day Tripper. Have you read Day Tripper? Anybody?
I've never read Day
Tripper?
Tripper.
Day Tripper is awesome. Oh, there we go. I think we
There you
got.
go.
Tell me about it.
I think we.
Broke it. It broke the internet.
I got too much.
We're all
crap
stuck
on it.
inside, Chad. Don't you dare break the internet.
You're on grandpa mode right now.
Right here. I'm like
Right,
on
yeah.
comic boards all over again.
All right, here we go. We're back. We're back.
Have mouse.
Oh, I've read
Okay.
Guard.
So eight
Mouse
ball.
Guard.
Then the next one.
Wicked
I
and
need
Divine.
to read the Divine.
Going in with some great
Monstrous
ones
is
here.
good.
This is very good. I actually think it's. I always thought that should have been a movie, or at least a mini series or something.
They were starting to work on Mouse Guard. They never did it.
Right, but that'll probably never happen at this point. The Wicked and the Divine is fantastic. Okay, Wicked and the Divine. I love that book so much and some of the characters from it so much. Like, if I ever have a daughter, I want to name her Lucifer after the Lucifer in that book.
Nice.
Harry Comics is lurking in the shadows right here.
What's up, Harry?
Bitch Planet.
Yeah.
That's what made Kelly Sue, man. Kelly Sue blew up after that.
She went right to Captain Marvel after and re-engineered Captain Marvel.
Wait a second. Hold on 1 second. I think somebody from there is supposed to be with us on Mainframe. I'll come back to that because I think Rylan has somebody from this book coming over.
Which planet?
Nice.
I remember back in the day when they were trying to get female writers into the Image Comics, you had Kelly Sue DeConnick come in and just went, I just have an idea. It's called Bitch Planet. They didn't need to hear more than just the title. And went, we want to be in business with you.
Yeah, that's it. They were like sold.
So next up, we've got Lock and Key.
I still got to watch that show, man. Anybody watch that show?
It was a good show.
I watched the show. The books are amazing. I have the whole collection. I love it. Joe Hill will be with us in 2 weeks.
Nice.
That's right.
Gabriel Rodriguez as well. I mean, can't go wrong with that.
Metropolitan. Yeah, there it is.
Go.
Speak of the devil.
Planetary. This is I love.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
John Cassidy doing artwork in that sounds real good.
Oh my God, this was awesome. This
Especially
was
the end where you just went, okay, it's been on hiatus for the last year and a half, and all of a sudden it comes back and ends strong.
Yeah, super good. The Walking Dead.
It ended strong too.
Novel. That's a whole series of 100.
Yeah, I don't know how they. I don't know how they can really count this because there's too many compendiums.
Yeah,
but it'll keep you reading.
Well, this is popular. Stan Sakai.
Yeah. Usagi Yojimbo.
Like Usagi Yojimbo. There's a lot of that over the last 3 decades, 4 decades.
Yeah,
that's still going. Going.
Didn't he make an appearance in Turtles?
Yeah, he was in the TMNT from the 80s, the cartoon series.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember seeing this in the shop when I was buying other stuff, and I had the old
one of the most underrated book, and the show is fantastic.
Yeah, it show's
I
awesome.
also like the Bronze Age storyline, but this is very good as well.
The Grant Morrison run, dude.
I know it's great. British and
awesome.
Grant Morrison.
I think every single collector has this in their possession.
Mouse Guard.
Yes, Mouse Guard's fantastic.
Mad Archives. Can you really say that is? I don't know about that one.
That's like a format. There's no continuity. On the other hand,
this right here,
Rucka.
Phenomenal.
Yep.
Phenomenal.
White out.
That's pretty much what broke him out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Criminals. Yep. This is
actions.
Yeah. Criminals.
Dude, Zdarsky's amazing.
Underrated.
I will read anything Chip Zdarsky writes.
Me too.
Yeah, that was a great series.
Matt Fraction did great artwork on this one, and I think the Chip Zdarsky just rocked this book.
Zdarsky has an exclusive Comixology comic that just came out recently, so I really need to read that.
Yeah, nice. I still love his Daredevil, to be honest with you.
I can't say I read this.
I think Daredevil is on the top of my reading list out of all the Marvel titles.
Dude, same.
X-Men.
I would say that Insurgent Supreme is pretty good. The one that's continuing right now. Or
I
know Mark Waid.
Read the first issue yet. I have them all, but I haven't started.
Mark Waid.
Mark Waid.
The old one where he came from, being a Herald of Galactus, going into it was great.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know the Finder.
Nope.
No, I'm unfamiliar.
Me too.
I don't know who that person is, but
Want some Eisners.
Yeah.
Wait, what is this? Okay, so this line that will tell you exactly what is going on from every corner of every panel, from random lizard things to genetically engineered TV screen vines.
Okay.
Sounds like Transmet.
Oh, Lone Wolf and Cub.
Yes.
I read.
Yes,
This
yes,
is
yes.
great. You have to get this book.
I've never
Great
heard
movie as well.
I'll take your word for it. It's 7,000 pages.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great movie as well. You know, those classic films, there's a bunch of them in the same series by the same director.
Hey, real quick, Paul, thank you for coming on tonight. We'll see you on Tuesday on Golden Guys. He's got to make a run, but anybody, any final
Absolutely.
shout
It was great stopping in. You know, it's been quite some time since I've been on a Friday night. It's just like old times.
Yeah.
Everybody's sitting around, shooting the shit and drinking.
You know the saying, once you're in the core,
It's
For life.
leave.
So we leave one old guy for one legend.
See y'all later.
Let's see, dude.
Bye.
And, you know, come to think of it, I think this is my first appearance on the show.
Dude, we'll save it.
Damn. It's cool having Rob Wurst here. One of the best. Was cracking my ass up the other night in some of those live chats. Good one-liners, a man of many one-liners. Awesome.
I do what I can.
I can't say I read much manga. I'm not.
Yeah, me either.
I've
I
read
used to be a
some
huge
manga,
fan.
but I don't know either of the two that we have on the screen right now.
Yeah, I think all the rest of these are
Down
manga.
with the Wind was it turned into an anime. This is the thing that made Hayao Miyazaki famous over here in the United States. He became known as the Walt Disney of Japan.
Yeah.
And this is a series that pretty much was like, think Fern Gully, if you remember that back from the
I remember
90s.
that
Yeah,
one.
yeah, I remember that one.
It's very in touch with nature and how nature can be corrupted by people that want to just take it over. And it's a beautifully laid out story. But when they tried to bring out the anime here in the 80s, they chopped it up. They made a 2-hour movie into about 70 minutes. I didn't know what it was about by the time they edited it up. But then they re-released it back in the 2000s, and it's a great movie if you have not gotten a chance to see it.
All right. Nice.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah.
All right,
So
next
like
up.
Princess Mononoke,
Akira.
Spirited Away,
Classic.
Akira. Hell yes, I have the telephone.
One
book.
manga I've ever read. I was going to say I've only read one, and it was this.
Yeah. What's Chad? What's the Pittsburgh dude that's from here? Ed.
John Engel from New Dimension Comics, 6 stores in the Pittsburgh area.
You talking the K-Fab?
Yeah,
guy?
K-Fab. Yeah, dude. He's a huge fan of Akira. He's actually got flown out to Japan and got a rare tour. Ed Pisker, yeah, from a good Pittsburgh boy. Ed Pisker flew to Japan, got his invite to go to the studios where Akira was made. He saw some never before seen like original art from all these creators, and he diagnosed his favorite like scenes of like the city explosion in the beginning, and there's like 3 different versions of that, and it was really cool, introspective. So check out his channel, Kayfabe. He's an awesome guy. I really wish we could have him on one night, which probably wouldn't be that hard to mangle.
I've been actually trying.
X-Men Grand Design.
Yeah. Yep. Amazing.
I've been trying to get him for Mainframe, and we're working on it. But he is very busy.
He is. Yeah, he's hard to get a hold of for sure.
Yeah. So
I'm sure
next
be
up,
knew more about it.
oh, we're trying to get a hold of him. He lives up in Squirrel Hill, though. I just gave out where he lives.
His address is.
His address is.
Edit that out later, right?
Pizza on Wednesday nights. You'll see him there.
Pluto.
We'll just pretend that didn't happen. I'm very good at that.
Pluto, the highly popular manga series by Nakia.
Urasawa.
I'm unfamiliar with this.
All right.
Next,
we have One Piece. Oh, I know this dude.
Oh,
I have a friend who loves this series.
Yeah, it's
you have to really be into the manga style to get into this because it is so long. The only thing is case closed.
But I'll tell you this one right here. They actually made this into a live action movie over in Japan.
It's a good series. I mean, I read it because of the movie, to be honest with you. But
it is the live action is amazing. I think isn't it on Netflix too?
I think it is.
I think it's so. If not,
there's
it's
a
on
lot of
Crunchy.
Full Metal Alchemist on Netflix. There is.
Yeah.
It's about something happened and his brother ends up being in the robot, right?
Yeah,
Right.
so he creates a spell where he tries to bring back his mother that died, and because with alchemy you have to give something in order to take something, they lost the little boy in the red shirt, he lost his arm and leg, so he has some metal on it, so that's why he's supposed to be called the Full Metal Alchemist, while his younger kid brother lost his whole body, and they had to put his soul into a suit of armor. So they always think that he's the Full Metal Alchemist, but it's the kid that's the real magician. And it's a great story that you should watch the second series, not the original.
Okay.
When I read
dude, Rob Ward's dropping the knowledge.
Yeah,
Dude comes in, he's like, you know what? I got this shit. I love it.
It did have a turn.
Pun.
I have no idea what this is about, but the name alone is adorable, and I want to look it up. Good night, Pun Pun.
Yeah,
hell knows.
Choose what you watch on TV too.
Good night, Pun Pun. Good night, Pun Pun.
All right, next up, graphic nonfiction.
Persepolis.
Persepolis. That's
we're going to get some good shit.
Very award winning.
Yeah, I remember it being up for Oscars for Best Animated Film from France. I don't know if it won, but I haven't seen the movie.
Next one.
That rings some bells now. Okay.
Fun Home. Allison Beechel.
Went over my head.
Yeah, E.T. Fun Home.
E.T. Fun Home.
March.
Congressman and civil rights hero John Lewis tells his life story in a national book award winning called March.
Cool.
Your Black Friend by Penn Passmore. Or Keep on Moving. Understanding Comics by Scott McCloud. I have this book.
Yeah, this is
something that I would like to get around to.
Next up, oh my God, there he is.
There he is, Ed Piskor.
We just talked about
Hip Hop Family Tree.
If anybody has, if you're a hip hop fan, this book is awesome.
Yeah, I love the huge mural he made in New York. I forgot where it was, but they unveiled it. I want to say a couple years ago, but it was so huge. It was like pretty much the size of a block or an apartment building, but it was this huge advertisement, I believe, for Nike, but it was hip hop family tree art style. I don't know, who knows how long he worked on it. It was beautiful. You can find videos of it all over YouTube and the internet, but that guy is amazing. I love that guy.
It's KRS-One. It features
nice.
Thank you,
the Fat Boys, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fantasy and science fiction. Here we go.
There you go.
Now, hell yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Now, I want to ask a question to everybody on this one. So
he cut himself out. Chad, you cut yourself out. I don't know if you know that.
Put yourself back in.
So this is probably my favorite series coming out today, but it's been on hiatus for almost 3 years now.
3, yeah.
Last issue came out, I think, either June or July of 2017, and then the Before Times happened.
Mm-hmm.
Legend cut me out. So here's the question: Saga or Y?
Saga.
I like Y, man. I don't know. For me, Y was compelling enough where I just wanted to keep reading, and I couldn't stop reading. Saga, I was like, this is cool, but I can take a break. You know what I mean?
Saga after the third trade, maybe I've had that little downturn a little bit where Y got better through each.
Y had the perfect ending to a book.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like Why the Last Man had a real sense of movement, whereas in Saga, there were some times like when the parents got stuck where the mother got hooked on drugs for a time and she was an actress. You could tell they were kind of middling on the storyline there. It felt like Walking Dead when they're coming on the farm, and they could have moved along a lot sooner, but they just didn't. Whereas Why the Last Man, it really clicked along. You got through the Amazons, and then by the time you get to the ending, it's really tragic. They stuck the landing. He nailed it. And at least I can say that it's a complete storyline, and it was a great all the way through. Saga still fantastic, and it's fantastic where it ended. But yeah, it had some middling portions too. But I still prefer Saga right now because it's compelling and it's not over. And I'm excited for the next issue, whenever, if ever, that might be.
My biggest dream is to have Brian K. Vaughan write a Silver Surfer novel on that mentality.
That'd be great. Yeah.
He's the guy I'd want to do Silver Surfer.
Oh my God! Yes,
Shade the Changing Man.
Shade the Changing Man.
The Vertigo.
I was gonna say it's on Young Animal now. Yeah,
stuff. That's old Steve Ditko shit. Yeah.
Peter Milligan and Chris Bachalo.
Yeah, this was like beginning of Vertigo.
Yeah, this was Scalped was probably the.
So I can tell you this one in this particular the in call. The artwork sucks in it.
Jodorowsky is pretty notorious. You know,
and Mobius. No, he's pretty amazing. Hey, Ledge, can you take I'll get to the next book and I got to tag out for a second. All right. ElfQuest. That's actually that would have been Paul West. Paul loves ElfQuest.
I had ElfQuest. The 1979, 1980 books, they were big books, but they had a lot of graphic stuff for me as a kid. And this older kid gave them to me. My mom took them away, and I didn't get them back.
Sounds like he's like very bitter about that.
I was like, I wanted to read this thing, and she was like, there's nudity and weird stuff. You're not reading this.
JD and I talked about moms all day today because from like 12 o'clock.
Let me read half the stuff I'm reading now.
Like at 12 o'clock, I was like, I got to go inside, bud.
I read these things all the time. She was like, you can read that one.
Dude, I have like one ElfQuest comic somewhere, and I was like, what is this?
All right.
Yeah, I know I have some. I just never read
My
it.
mom read ElfQuest.
Fuck yes, Sandman.
She loves it. So
Talk
I'm
on this.
gonna say yes to
You
ElfQuest.
would enjoy it, but
Yeah, that's a classic, man. Like, what's great about this volume 1, Preludes and Nocturnes, is that it's like you can read it as a one and done. You know what I mean? It has beginning and ends. It stands alone by itself, you know. But they continued later on because I mean, Neil Gaiman at the time thought it was going to be done, you know, after this one. So he just went all in on this one volume and gave it a conclusion. And it's so good if you have not read it. It's just great by itself.
And I do think
it tells a story about some people living in New York City during a hurricane.
Yeah.
And the third volume is ridiculously good, and it changes.
Seasons of the Mist.
Yep, such a good storyline right there.
Oh yeah,
and it's actually becoming a TV show.
Yes, finally, yeah.
Neil Gaiman will be writing on the show. They're already working on season 2 right now. That's how
the British invasion of the '80s is totally
awesome.
The graphic novels again. Alan Moore. Gaiman.
Have we heard any more news about Why the Last Man TV show happening? Did they still postpone that or?
It's supposed to be, but everything happened in the before time.
So they actually lost Yorick.
BC.
So Yorick,
the actor had changed. That's right.
He had left and gone to Marvel's MCU he's playing Icarus from
Eternals.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a good.
But I'd rather play Yorick.
I think they actually. I'll look it up as we go, but I believe they got a better actor. Man, I would if I was that guy's situation, I would probably take. I mean, although I love Why the Last Man so much, I would probably take the big Marvel check. You know what I mean? Once you're part of the Marvel family, you don't know where that's going to take you. You know. Yeah, so I think his name. I'm jumping on IMDb real quick because I know this got like posted last month.
Okay, so it's super recent news.
So
nice, Rob. Let me get mine. It's right here next to me.
The guy that is playing him now is Ben Schnitzer, and he's most notable from. He was in Snowden, The Book Thief, Pride, Warcraft.
Nice.
I think he's honestly, I think he's going to be a better actor. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I got the giant Omni every single issue. It's awesome. You can get this pretty good discount on InStockTrades.com. They have some great discounts on there, so I highly recommend that website. But man, look, you got ampersand on the back. Can't go wrong with ampersand. I still want the single floppies because the cover art on the singles are so good. It's just an amazing series I'll never get tired of.
I'm actually.
Mine are down there. I'd have to really pick it out, but at least you can see this.
Ooh,
Oh,
look
hell
at that
yeah.
one.
Wow, signed, dude, that's awesome.
That's a damn nice floppy right there. Is that in Mylar?
No, this is BCW and triple boarded, I think.
Ah, thick
Oh,
boards.
yeah.
Very good.
There
I
you
like
go.
Stack it up.
Legend. I
I
like
double board everything that I get.
Fullbacks, JD.
fullback.
That's awesome.
What do we have after Samuel?
Okay, guys, let's get through this. We got now we're going into the superheroes. Here we
Oh,
go.
there it is. I read that one. Got that one on the
Dark
shelf.
Knight Returns. Absolutely.
That's
Yes.
a must read. Must read.
Really? This is
I was not a
Like
fan.
Coke?
I was not a fan.
Yeah.
Coach
Jungle
redeveloped.
Action from the Bronze Age was a better storyline for Black
Oh
Panther.
yeah, dude, I wanted to like this so bad. I love sci-fi. I thought it was a great idea of Black Panther going into space, and man, it did not stick me at all. It was so strange that in the beginning it was like, you have the Black Panther. He doesn't know what's going on or where he is or who he is. I'm like, okay, well, let's see where this goes, and it just does not hit at all. And it's still going. It's still going, dude.
Right, but it did introduce Shuri, and it did introduce a lot of the other side characters that have been in the MCU. So we give it a little credit for that. But I will say the Jungle Action series is better.
Well, Shuri was introduced before that sci-fi one, but yeah,
Yeah.
Miss Marvel, it's good. It's good. I like G. Willow Wilson.
I love Miss
I think
Marvel.
she's a good voice for a new generation, and she's a great new character. I'm looking forward to the Marvel TV show coming out. I think a lot of people are going to get into it. So, good
I
pick.
I prefer her Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, mhm.
I like
Wilson.
it's
It
my
felt like she stopped caring about Wonder Woman after a while.
I think so too.
Invisible Kingdom.
this
Right.
next one. I will say absolutely.
Yes,
Yes.
My
yes,
opinion, Tom King's best work right there.
yeah. I would say Vision and Mr. Miracle, absolutely.
See, my
Yeah,
thing with
definitely.
Mr. Miracle is I love Mr. Miracle, but I like that one better. Oh, here we go. Gail Simone's Wonder Woman.
There you go. There's my girl.
I'll agree with
Dude,
that.
if we
Oh.
get Gail Simone's
I like
Birds of
Oh,
Prey
Astro
on here-
City, Kurt Busiek, Brian Anderson, Alex Ross covers.
Yeah,
I'm
Alex
sorry,
Ross.
Kat. What were you saying about Wonder Woman? I'm sorry.
Oh, if we get Gail Simone's Birds of Prey on here, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Or if we got that 80s run of Wonder Woman on
Yes.
here, with some George Perez artwork.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was going to say I like the 70s, 80s one.
So-
or the 30s.
Bill Messer Loeb.
Who has read Astro City?
I've read
I
Astro
read
City.
parts of it.
I started. They're really good. They're kind of like old. What was it? The V word. That little DC imprint, Vertigo or whatever. But really damn good series. It's got the Vanguard in there. It's got a lot of like similar characters to like your normal DC type characters and stuff, but they're kind of in their own little world. So it's pretty cool. They do. Was it Kurt Busiek also does a lot of stories on the side characters that wouldn't even be like a freaking hero or whatever.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool too. There was one where this guy got powers. It was some weird ass story where he combined with like a dog or something, and then they got the same powers. And instead of being a villain, like he could have easily been a villain and just done a lot of bad shit, he became like a hero for good. I mean, there's so much good stuff. Now that's
Absolutely.
real good stuff.
Now we're going to talk Swamp Thing issues 22
Alan Moore.
7 right now, and Alan Moore is
There you
signing Swamp Thing, what I consider the quintessential best writing ever done in comic history.
That's why I picked this up right here, dude. That's why I picked this up.
There's Swamp Thing, Alan Moore, issues 21 through 57, even beyond that.
Beautiful.
You get it, you read it, you will change.
It's beautiful art. It's a beautiful
Dude,
story.
this-
It's a fantastic read.
It's the
This
most
absolute edition, dude. This absolute edition has like this furry film on it, dude. It's incredible. This is like the
I'm gonna have to
nicest
pick that
absolute
one up.
edition
I
I've
think I'm gonna
ever
have to buy
seen,
that
dude.
right now, JJ.
Like if you have one, there's one constant beef about this absolute edition is that everyone's spine is like cracking and tearing. I think you have to know how to open an omnibus. You got to stretch that spine because if you don't, if it's your first omnibus you pick up, you're gonna have that problem. So you got to know what you're doing. But I mean, I mine's fine, so it could be a rarity, but
I'm
I
definitely
love
going to
this,
pick
dude.
that
It's
up.
amazing.
That's definitely on my
Or-
list to buy real soon.
Volume 2 is coming out real soon, so I'm gonna pre-order that as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right,
I want
next
my
up,
kids to read that.
I absolutely love this run.
I hear it's amazing. Yeah, Brubaker, dude. I love
Grounded
Brubaker.
Yes.
From police force.
I've been saying like from the get-go that Brubaker really needs to write a Slam Bradley series. Like bring back classic Detective Comics character, and Brubaker's the man to do it. But I hear like he won't write for DC or Marvel anymore. Is that a rumor? I'm not sure that's true or not.
Brubaker's been doing Criminal for so long now that he doesn't want to do anything else because it's perfect the way he's doing it. But one of my things about Brubaker is, as far as Captain America storylines is, there isn't anyone other than Ed Brubaker to read. The rest
classic Brubaker, Steve Epstein run,
Winter Soldier stuff. Yeah,
absolutely the greatest run Marvel had, in my opinion.
I heard Gotham Central is amazing though. I've been meaning to read that. I have that on Comixology.
So when I at one point with my pull list, I just said give me anything DC that came out, and this flew under the radar. And when I picked it up, I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm. We got Greg Rucka. You got amazing, like almost. I almost say I don't want to make it animation like it's an insult, but Greg Rucka, the way the artwork is perfect. Is this God Kill Man Kills?
Yeah.
You can't. This is definitely we got to bring in Drew for this one. This is the best one.
If it wasn't for this, you wouldn't have the first X-Men movie.
And that's being re-released with extra stuff, stuff from Claremont.
On the cover, by the way.
I see Colossus right there.
Good sometime soon, apparently, reissues of Godman.
Warren Ellis.
Warren Ellis.
I never read this.
I've never heard of it before.
This one, it's Agents of Hate, from the pages of Project Superpower, probably. Which this is the other one here. This is the Warren Ellis Black Cross. I like this one a little bit more. But again, when we get to, this will be on that list. It should be at least.
No, this one is hands down on this list.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's right.
Dude, Darwin Cook.
Darwin
Cook.
Darwin.
Cook.
Here you guys go right here.
Right here.
It's a lot of show and tell time.
Yeah, dude. You know what? Got the absolute edition. Had to, dude. This
so
thing is
awesome.
incredible, dude. Look, dude, you gotta see this, man. Look at this, dude.
Darwin.
This is incredible, dude. Darwin Cook, man, the best that there ever was, ever will be.
Oh my God,
dude. This is incredible, man.
That movie
10 list for sure.
This is a must own. Like everyone,
but that movie
gets absolute.
The animated movie
is
fantastic.
Yeah.
It did it justice.
It did. It really did.
I lost out on last week's Comic Link or last month's Comic Link auction on a Darwin Cook original artwork piece from that run of the Superman Green Lantern scene of them doing down there, and I lost out by $20.
Okay, this is why is this on here?
All right, we got
look
at that.
Wow.
Jesus. Oh my God.
Beautiful.
I've never seen the
Well,
single.
wait till you get to the one issue that I wound up getting. Yes, I did.
Wow.
Look at that one there. That's a cool one.
Buy that. That wasn't every month. That was you had to wait a couple of months between issues, didn't you?
Yeah. And this is the one
oh,
I got.
nice.
Oh, wow.
Darwin.
Holy cow.
Look
Nice.
at
That is beautiful, man.
I love how
I'm a huge fan of Darwin Cook. Anything that he would write, and this was his masterpiece.
So what is your? I know the
Damn.
signature. What is your favorite? What is your personal favorite cover out of that? Because mine is the John Johns.
Yeah, it's so hard. But if I would have to go with any of them, it would probably be the very last issue because I've been a fan of Green Lantern. The design alone, but yeah, I mean,
I love
going
some
back
Green
to the Green
Lantern,
Lantern cover.
That's Martian.
So
Sorry,
Anthony,
Martian Manhunter cover.
This is my latest Green Lantern that Chad told me to get here. That I am absolutely read it and think it's the best run I've read. The best
Legacy. Yeah,
I've never had before. Chad, I think you told me to buy it when I was in a shop. I said, "This any good? Get it," and I read it, and it's a must.
Legacy, dude, looks awesome.
Green Lantern has so many good. Right, I mean, and then
Hal Jordan too.
But
Yeah.
then when they brought him back from Rebirth up until all through New 52, I mean, that is some great shit too.
Yeah.
So the next up,
Current Green Lantern's good too. Grant Morrison.
yes,
Oh,
unbeatable Squirrel Girl.
Now,
So,
I need to read more of
have
that.
you ever read any Unbeatable Squirrel Girl?
Squirrel Girl is a character that whenever I go into a comic shop, and it's like a shop I've never been into, a completely different area, whatever, like, you know, I get sized up and whoever goes to me and they want to introduce me to characters. They always bring me over to my girl Harley Quinn because, you know, 100% my girl DC fan.
Oh God!
But then they always try to get me into Squirrel Girl. And I'm like, you get that monstrosity out of my face. I would not touch Squirrel Girl with a 10-foot pole.
Squirrel Girl.
I hate the character.
Damn.
I would stop printing these freaking books. It's a waste of paper. I'm sorry. I hate
for
her
you
so much. I want with every fiber of my being. I hate this character, and I don't hate any comic book character the way I hate Squirrel Girl. And it's not fair. I know it's
people
not.
that like Lumberjanes for kids. It's scholastic reading material. It's people like us, they're OG. It's for kids.
You know, the only good thing about squirrels is rotisserie style over a fire.
Hellboy.
Yes, I
5
love
years ago, I auditioned to be an artist again after I was, you know, when I was doing this. And this was my idea to do a Squirrel Girl right here.
All right, go on.
If you throw it on here, I had her venomized.
Venomized Squirrel Girl.
But I made
Venomized Squirrel Girl is something.
venomized, and they were like, "We're not doing that."
So
But Hellboy is something different. Look at that Hellboy right there.
Next Man. Look at that Next Man. First appearance.
Yeah.
There you go.
That is
Appearance.
Tom Burns.
John
So
Burns.
has anybody been seeing what Mike Mignola has been doing every day, doing sketching on Twitter?
Yeah, it's amazing. He's done so many great like Marvel and DC stuff.
The other day, he spent the entire day. It was the funniest thing because Jim McLaughlin retweeted it. He spent the entire day drawing the Flintstones vacuum.
Yeah. I remember his Dino looked pretty scary too.
Yeah,
I bought I believe the first 5 omnibuses of Hellboy on Comixology for like $2 or $3 each. They had a massive sale recently. I have a huge pull. It's All-Star Superman. Oh my God. Arguably the best Superman story of all time.
Grant Morrison.
Well, I'll say Jerry
love
Ordway and
Grant
Marv Wolfman first, but this one, I believe Brad Meltzer is his name, does the forwarding on the hardcover of this. And Meltzer did that, remember that famous Crisis follow-up he did, the book he did, with Grant Morrison doing the introduction on his. So that's
Time for Philip. Time.
Hey, wait, hold on real quick.
Time to filibuster.
Time for the filibuster.
Oh no, I'm not.
There he
I'm
is.
not waking up for that shit.
He's like, DC, what is this? DC.
It was all Marvel before, so don't worry. Oh, check it out! Look what Rob is showing.
There
This
you
is
go.
where
Wow,
Brad
look at all those signatures.
So
Wow.
Brad Meltzer started with Green Arrow, and that's when he started rolling into the Infinite Crisis. But yeah, he wound up starting here, and that's when he did the forward later on for that.
I love that.
Related to Green Arrow, Kevin Smith says he's going to be at Mainframe Comic Con. My first Green Arrow book I ever bought was the Kevin Smith run. It was the #1 Green Arrow.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that run.
Dude, I didn't know what was going on because I was like 10 years old, but I reread that recently, and in that, like, some guy, I think it might have been Ollie, he gets head from like a girl,
Yeah.
like they showed off panel, you know. I was like, oh my God, they had oral in this comic. Like, I went over my head as a kid, but now I understood it.
I like head. I'm in.
There you go.
During Ghostbusters, a ghost gave Dan Aykroyd head.
Yeah. I love that scene.
Here we go, Hawkeye.
The Matt
Kate
Fraction
Bishop,
run of Hawkeye. Yes.
the Kate Bishop
You
introduction.
don't even know Hawkeye, Cat.
Apparently, I don't, according to my comment
You-
section.
You need to shut your mouth and read Hawkeye.
I forgot
Stupid
about
big nerd girl. You don't know nothing about Hawkeye.
In this story, nobody can get his name right. Everybody that's a neighbor of his calls him Hawk Guy.
that.
Yeah.
Pizza dog, man.
So much fun.
All right. Next up, we've got newspaper strips. I don't know about this one. Crazy.
Garfield on there.
No, we're gonna get
I'm
some.
gonna tell you right now, newspaper strips. If Garfield is not on here,
We're getting
Crazy
these
Cat.
figures that I want to see.
Calvin and Hobbes needs to be on here, you know it. There you go.
Calvin
and
Hobbes, there you
Hobbes.
go.
Garfield
Seeger
minus
Popeye.
Pogo.
Oh, that's pretty good. Pogo's good. Pogo's really good.
Dykes to watch out for.
I watch out for all of them.
Bloom County. This was a good read. I have this.
Yeah, that was the post to Doonesbury, right?
Yep. Mary Perkins on stage.
Not familiar. Leonard
Hey,
Scarbo.
hey.
Peanuts by
Oh,
Schultz.
Class.
There you go.
Where's E.C. Seeger? Come on, where is he?
Where's
Little. Slowly I turn.
And then we've got Aaron Pooks. I don't even.
Ernie Pooks.
Where's my
Is that
fat?
like a-
Where's my fat orange cat?
Like the potty train your kid.
Oh wait, and we've got
There
Thimble
it is.
Theater.
E.C. Seeger.
Popeye.
That's
Popeye,
what
yeah.
I'm talking about there. These
Oh,
guys
wait,
are
he's
Popeye.
hanging out backstage.
It's the guy that had a stroke and has two giant, massive lesions in his forearms.
It is to this day the best series ever done in comics. All
The
time.
Robin Williams movie. Robin Williams movie.
Comic strip.
All right.
writing,
What a
Seeger
snub!
What?
E.C. Seeger's
Garfield
comic.
was not on this
No
list.
Garfield.
No
Wait
Jim
a
Davis
second.
at all.
Where's Pearls Before Swine? That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Steve
That's
Seeger.
true, yeah.
I mean,
So we're into the web comics. Next
Deeply
up
insulted.
is Bad Machinery.
Unfamiliar.
The
No.
Nib. The Nib.
Orange is the New Black.
One of my favorites always been
The
strong
Nib.
protagonist.
Beards of Our Forefathers.
I like that.
Sounds
That,
Hark.
that Andy.
Hark. By Kate
Napoleon.
Hark, a vagrant.
Homestuck. That's what we all are.
Stuck home.
My
As
kid
the-
loves Homestuck.
Really?
Yeah, man. She got way into it. I'm like, what is it? She's like, it's a web comic. And I was like, does that like, do you like put it in bags and boards? And she's like, it comes on the internet. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
As the crows fly. Oh, joy, sex toy.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Wow.
Stand still and stay silent.
cricket.
That's what she said.
Mhm.
Check, please. It's about hockey.
Oh, nice. That's
No.
cool.
Cricket.
All right. I'll read it.
Gunner Craig Court. Kill 6
wonder if-
billion. This one's called Kill 6 Billion Demons.
Whoa. It's quite
I've heard
A
of this
lot
one.
of demons,
I've heard
man.
of this one.
Oh,
It's
human
lofty
star.
goals.
I've never
It
read
is.
it, but I've heard of it.
I wonder if Battle Pug's going to be
The
on
less than epic adventure of TJ and Amal.
It's got adult
Save your
content.
Saturday morning breakfast cereal. Save yourself, mammal. I have actually seen this one. Vatu, all ages now. Ghost,
Okay.
Castle waiting. American born Chinese. Carl Barks Disney Ducks.
Oh, there we
Carl
go.
Barks Disney Ducks.
Good one. That's a great. I think Legend. You got every one right.
He's backstage. Zeta the Space Girl.
Okay.
Amulet.
That's
El Delfo.
El Defo.
Oh, Bone.
Bone.
Oh, yes. Jeff
There you
Smith.
go.
Yeah.
Something that we
Nobody's
know.
knocking this.
A bone for all ages.
And after you're finished
Last-
with Bone, read Wrestle.
Here we go. Last but not least, Action Comics 1938 through 2011, the hardback. That's a big ass book.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's a monstrosity of a book, but a good way.
Those Golden
All right.
Age are hard to read, though.
And that's it. that
Depends on what
is
Golden Age books
We
you-
did it. We did it.
that's the entire list that we just went through. I'm gonna
So
tag
we
Ledge,
read most of them.
I'm gonna tie Ledge back in.
Speaking of begging and boarding, Drew, look what I got to beg and board now. It's
A lot of books, man.
Punisher War Journal, the whole series.
Oh, it's a good
I got it
series.
from Chicago Comics. I never read it. And
You should just read it.
that's what I'm exactly why I'm not begging and boarding them. I got to read them first.
Well, first 7 issues are worth reading, and then it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah. I give anything a
That's
shot.
the era for you, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the artwork seems to be right on point, and I kind of like
First
this.
issues is Scott Williams doing the inks on Jim Lee for the first time.
Right, Jim Lee first time. Here it is, right here.
Man,
Yeah.
I've always wanted to say this live. It's
You've
Rob
seen it.
Wurst, one of the best.
I'm gonna. I'll got one question for everybody. I'm gonna say mine.
I'm just excited to be hanging out with Rob Worst, Chad.
I know.
I'm excited
Dude.
to be here, period. Conversing with people in the real world, sort of.
Right.
Which one was omitted, Chad? Which one do you think should be on there in all the categories?
Okay, and I'm gonna perfect. I'll say mine, and then I'll let Kat back on. Ready? Mine, The Boys.
There you go.
I'm going to say Scalped, Jason Aaron, Vertigo.
I don't know what wasn't on there. So
the 72 issue run was just. It's picture the Sopranos on a native reservation casino environment. It's just different. Just real good job.
What'd you think, Kat?
Me personally, I know no one on here has read it, but 100% White from Dan Schaefer. We talked to the guy from Devil's Due. It was Devil's Due and First Comics releasing it a couple years back. It's a girl trying to survive a very traumatic plane crash and ending up stuck on a part of a wing of the plane. And there's a great white that's circling her. And she's got a radio. And she's not sure if anyone's actually gonna come and save her, and everyone's lying to her, and it's a rough ride throughout the entire time.
Well, I'm sold.
But it's
was there a movie that was similar to that? Yeah.
Okay, cool. So there was going to be. We talked a little bit about that in our interview with the head of Devil's Due. So there was going to be a movie about that, and they were talking about it. But then the Blake Lively movie happened, and it's a very similar kind of concept. You know, you have your young blonde and a great white shark, and it kind of got shelved.
Right.
But, you know, that was a great movie. I think White could be a really great movie in the next several years.
I like the sound of White better.
I'd still like to see it.
Yeah, me too.
It was a solid read. It was 4 issues. It's a solid collection.
That's too bad they shelved that. I really liked when Hollywood was doing that for a while, when there was kind of the two of every kind. Like there was a Volcano, Dante's Inferno came out at the same time. There was like Armageddon and
Deep Impact, baby.
Deep Impact. Yeah.
Deep Impact is the Morgan Freeman
version
of Armageddon.
Yeah, every year there was like 2 at least that were like the same movie, but they're both Hollywood blockbusters, came out around the same time. So that'd been really cool. That's too bad that didn't happen. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. I think the book they should have had on there was some new Superman. I know what you're gonna say, old
Bendis Superman.
No, I'm talking about Chinese Superman, baby.
Oh, okay.
Justice League of China, man. I mean, I knew it wouldn't be on something like Best, 100. When you got stuff like Watchmen, Why the Last Man Saga, and all those on there, but just for something different, it's always a good one. Otherwise, I would have put Chew or Farmhand or Six Gun on there.
There you go, Six Gun. Oh, good choice.
I love that Cullen Bunn, yeah.
I was here for the whole list.
Was on there because no one actually reads it.
No, I read a lot of it, and I'll say this: there is a whole run of Spawn, the whole middle, that was terrible. I'm actually going to say it after 10.
But it's the most expensive scene.
Yeah, isn't it though? It is expensive.
It was made for toys, he just wanted to make toys, and
most of those homage covers. The reason that Spawn's worth something in those runs is because nobody was reading it because it was so terrible. The print runs are low. I always say that the only Spawn worth reading is like the first 6 issues. So
Angela,
after that, you can just give up.
I kind of like when they added the other characters in, the aardvark and everything else. When they started adding other characters, the Violators storylines, they had a few one-shots with Spawn or like miniseries. Spawn and Witchblade was always good. Spawn, but you're right, 100% correct. Spawn was very, very hard to get. Even they pulled it off of our pull lists because they didn't want to order 1 or 2 copies for a big shop in New York, because that's all we were. It was me and another guy that was like, I just can't stop now at 150, 156, 157. They're like, yeah, you do, because we're not carrying it anymore.
Todd said it just the other day that he's very open to a crossover with Spider-Man. It's like, yeah, no shit. Why would you not want the most popular character in comics in your comics?
I'm so mad because he did this. I'm so mad because he did this big tease. He was like, yeah, here's Spider-Man and Spawn together in one picture. People are like, what is this? What is it for? Is it a crossover? End up being the cover of like a price guide. And people was like, "Ah!" Like everyone was let
I
down.
think they kind of work together that well. One is, I mean, let's be honest. Spawn is Al is a different kind of character than totally.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't take shit from anybody. Spider-Man talks his way out of everything. Spawn just takes their head off.
What are you gonna say, Rob? I'm sorry.
News stories to get people
I'll
back
say-
into reading actual print comic books once it finally starts rolling back out again would definitely to be a Spider-Man and Spawn crossover, do DC Marvel crossover, get people back into the comic book shop.
Yeah.
Just rolling out the next week's issues from several months back is not going to excite people to come into the comic book stores for the first time or even just to come back at all.
But
Yeah,
Spawn
Marvel
is
DC
still the only
crossover really
comic-
needs to happen, you know, especially after all this COVID stuff. You know, if both companies are hurting, they really need to come together like they did back in the day, and you know, do
if
a
you
big
want a
crossover.
DC Marvel crossover to happen and you want it to be successful, you need to give it to the right creator.
Yep.
You can't just throw it out there and be like, here's this Scott Lobdell
Everyone will buy it no matter what, dude.
story.
Everyone will buy it no matter
Here's
what.
your-
It wouldn't even matter.
Here's a Dan Slott story. No, you need to get like it would need to be, quite frankly, a Donny Cates story for like anybody.
Quite frankly,
to really
I
care.
think like every comic or every story
Jeff
should be done by a
Johns.
good writer. You know what I mean? Like,
But it's just the rule of
Yeah.
mathematics, law of averages is gonna shoot that to hell. I mean, there's
people
too
buy
many books
crossover
for them
no matter
all to
what.
be good.
Yeah,
And if they try
but
and do it the way that they did Image United, if you remember that, it was
Oh my
supposed to be a
God.
giant jam session with every single famous artist working on it, and no one could get their schedules working. Even right now, when everyone's home, really not supposed to go anywhere, I'm sure they still couldn't get about 5 creators to go, you're going to sit down on your webcam, zoom this shit out, and at the end of it, we're going to have a real book.
yeah, JD, that Wizard of Oz is that the
I
first.
don't see it happening.
That's the first crossover between Marvel and DC.
Gorgeous.
Correct.
Yeah,
This is the very
Oh,
first
right.
crossover of Marvel and DC.
Yep,
This
yep.
is a near mint to mint copy that I've waited forever to get.
That is awesome.
John Romita did the cover. The interiors of John Buscema, but it's edited by Carmine Infantino. Does a lot of it inside, as well as Stan Lee. They brought it together right there. And the second one, of course, everybody knows Superman versus Amazing Spider-Man, which is an amazing cover because it's the top of the Empire State Building, and it's almost Kong-esque, as I call this one, because it was that big when it came out. And this is a beat-up copy, but I still hang them on my wall. I'm going to put these up in my son's room,
Awesome.
my son and daughter's room right here, as for 2 of their comics for them. I absolutely love these, and I put them in frames for a reason because I do read this one to them. I will read this to them when they can sit down and be quiet, which doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But
I guess
these are
you know, I know we got a little sidetracked, but I do want to say one that was not on that list. I would definitely say "Criminal" by Ed Brubaker. If not that, then Black Monday Murders by Jonathan Hickman. Even though it's a little dense, and some people probably find all the court talk and economic speak boring, I loved it. That's probably my favorite book of all time, and especially mixed with all the sigils and symbols. But
Man, I
Yeah,
say
that's my
there's
pick.
2 types of people in the world, Jason. There are stupid people, and then there are fans of Jonathan Hickman. If you're not a fan of Jonathan Hickman's writing, it's because you don't understand it.
Hey guys,
Decorum.
I got to bounce, but Drew, are you logged in under me?
I am.
I'm logged in currently. Yeah, why? What's up?
I got to run, so I apologize. I just wanted I got to.
Chad's got the runs, folks.
Hey guys, thanks for everything. I will talk to you soon. Rob, thank you for coming on, man. That's awesome.
Good meeting you for the first time.
There we go.
Chris Barrett, the chat says that, I guess she's talking about the crossover. It needs to be
I
Jeff
agree
Johns.
with that.
The second you say Jeff Johns, I'm out. That guy is so up his own ass.
No, I'm in.
The
I love
last
Jeff
thing,
Johns.
last thing we got from
Johns.
him was Doomsday
Thank
Clock.
You.
The last
I
thing we
think
got
Jeff
from him was
Johns-
Doomsday
Thank
Clock,
you,
and
Jeff
it was
Johns.
absolutely awful.
No,
The guy
no, no,
is
You're wrong. You're wrong. You can't
Everything
blow your way out of this.
better.
Every blow your way out of this. No way.
Everything better.
See, we can just do that, Jason.
100%.
Yeah, you just do that too,
You
dude.
wanna
Jeff
talk about
Johns.
people that are so into themselves.
Jeff Johns.
Let's talk about the other person on here, Donny Cates. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Jason. But let's let Jason talk.
Dude, Jeff Johns understands characters. He understands comics, especially DC. He respects Marvel and DC.
You know what he
characters
doesn't
for history,
understand?
dude.
You know what he doesn't understand? Release schedules.
No, that's not his fault. He had that. He had, you don't understand the context of the situation. I keep telling you, dude. Dan DiDio and he had all that stuff stopping him. And once DiDio dropped, you had all this other stuff come out. Like you had a Shazam issue come out. You had other Jeff Johns works that were coming out too, because Dan DiDio was holding him back, and then hit him out of the picture. So I don't know, man. We're going to see what's going to happen with Jeff Johns. I don't think he wants to come back to DC because he has his own little studio on the side, and he's now a third-party hire. Why would he go back to DC when he could get hired by both Marvel and DC? You know what I mean? He would be the perfect mediator between both companies. Have him write the crossover.
I kind of think Jason Aaron would be the writer I would choose.
Nice.
With
That's a good pick.
Artwork, and have Snyder and Capullo as well. And have that combination should be just fine for me.
I want to throw Tomasi's hat in there.
What you do is you do DC Marvel Metal, and you have Donny Cates team up with Scott Snyder and write.
Well, I'm not doing
There
metal.
you go.
I
Those
got
two
it.
would work well. What's that?
7 issues where each one they have to carry the title over of what's been going on from one issue to the next. John Hickman, Hickman winds up writing, or not writing, but at least getting the arc of what's supposed to happen as far as story.
Yeah.
Started off with Donny Cates because he knows how to start things off. You get Jeff Johns in there. You get, sorry, Bendis is going to have to write something.
I'm not sure what Jeff Johns brings to the whole project.
So
He
basically,
He's brilliant.
Development.
He brings a name that hasn't done anything good lately.
so
That's
basically,
Bendis.
you want
with
the
Chip
commanding
Dark.
challenge.
I'm sorry, Kat. What's that, Kat?
He knows how to make your ass cry.
Yeah,
So
Bendis changes the game. Go ahead, Kat.
Basically, you want the Commandy challenge. What they tried to do with that with DC, where they brought a new creative team in with each individual issue. The issue with the Commandy challenge, as much as I love Commandy, the Last Boy on Earth, was you could tell the creative teams that 100% were into it, and those who were like, no, I went into it with this main thing in mind. This is the story I want to go into. There's some of the issues that went completely off where they were supposed to go from the last issue, and there's some of them that picked up from other ones. So
Okay.
it was a little all over the place. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it as a Commandy fan and as a fan of a lot of these teams, but there were certain issues that were huge letdowns, and that's the issue with doing something like
True.
the new
But although
every
I do
Great point
believe
on that.
Rob has the good idea, though, of having Hickman be in charge of this. We know that he can direct and delegate.
He's busy doing
you know.
something great right now.
Oh, but I'm saying that's all hypothetical, Drew. If
Let's
you did a
not
Marvel
have to
DC,
exit
if you did a Marvel DC crossover, I would want Hickman to be in charge of the backbone of this and to delegate what should be done. And Rob's correct. I think it'd be great to have Cates and Snyder start it off. I mean, they're great at starting stories.
I don't think that DC has the creative vision and the
No,
faith.
both companies don't have the creative vision.
No, wait. I don't think they have the faith
The face
to just be hands off the way that
But
Marvel
if
has been with
they're
Hickman.
so scared of failing, give it to IDW. IDW has both franchises. They have the license out. Just have them do it. You know what I mean? You don't have to put your cred on it. You know what I mean? Like you can have Marvel and DC. Just
I think
have
the
it
issue
be
is you have a
IDW.
Marvel guy write it. They have the better writers. by
That's the
far.
omission on the list. What you guys bring up is something we keep forgetting is we didn't bring up East of West or Manhattan projects.
Yeah.
If you think about, you brought up Hickman, and we've talked about Kirkman doing, Kirkman's Thief of Thieves wasn't on there, but
Oblivion Song is good too.
yeah, and Oblivion Song. But one of the things that you brought up was Hickman, and I didn't even think about this. What Hickman did with just his own works is Image Works, I should say, his creator owned. Absolutely, he could be the solo writer.
Oh yeah, he can do
And
anything
have a
himself, man.
DC artist that you like, have a DC artist that you like, work with him, and make. That's probably the best course of action. From what I'm gathering, what everybody wants is a good arc for 12 issues. I assume we'll go with 12-issue arc, the standard arc that means something. Again, no offense to Donny Cates.
Sure.
But John Hickman is the perfect writer, I think, to do a crossover because he has transcended everything he's ever done. I mean, but the artist's choice of him would be, what style are you going with? Are you going with the East of West style? Are you going with the new X-Men style, but then to Marvel? Or do you grab some of the best artists at DC? I mean, everybody has their favorites right now. I mean, I'm going to say I'd probably go Capullo. I mean, I know it's a fanboy thing, but I think, I don't know.
Great art.
Capullo is a
also,
good choice, but you also have
Yeah.
you also have the all of the young guns at Marvel are fantastic.
And,
So
and even like
and you got the
Palestinian-
great standards at DC still. There are so many great artists at DC. I think that you let Marvel write.
Bermejo.
Yeah,
Bermejo's
Marvel-
Magic.
Bermejo doesn't count.
Dude, DC has the best like artists, I would say, hands down.
Absolutely.
You can't say they have the best artists and then throw on Bermejo's bullshit. But
Dude, Bermejo's so good. And Gary Frank, I know you hate Gary Frank. I love Gary Frank.
I don't mind Gary Frank. He just phoned in all of Doomsday Clock.
Disagree.
I think Doomsday Clock was phoned in right away. After issue 2 took 6 months, or 3 took too long, and then we waited for how long?
And then every issue took 6 months after that.
Yo, we got TJ Slapdragon Watts in the chat preaching the truth. He says everything Johns has done has been absolute gold, and Jason was right.
How would he know all of his comics are sealed in plastic?
Dude,
if he's going to judge covers or the little numbers that grade him up on the top, I'll take his word for it.
You cannot slam TJ. TJ is.
I just did.
Take it back. Take it back.
Barrett likes Romita Jr. and Frank Miller. I don't like Frank Miller today. I like Frank Miller Daredevil. Then I'm Dark Knight, and I'm done after that. No offense to Frank Miller, but that's what the only 2 things I like him in.
Best artists DC right now are Mitch Gerads as far as like story art and emotion, and then you got Jorge Jimenez, who does the best superheroes.
Oh, dude, I agree. Jimenez is my favorite.
I would have if it was a superhero storyline. I was going with.
Can you imagine seeing a crossover by Jimenez? God. I want to see Jimenez do some Marvels. That'd be fantastic.
DC, what if DC had a Watcher character similar to that and made it like they write it as a DC Watcher or the Watcher himself from Marvel? Just throwing it out there. Hickman writing as the Watcher from a first-person point of view of what he saw at Marvel, and then he goes to this other universe, and it's drawn by Jimenez is a great call on that.
Yeah.
Think about him. Jimenez do that. Probably have Morales from Barry Morales do the but I'm leaving Ed McGuinness out of it too. But anyway, it would just be a great run where I would go with that in a heartbeat. A Watcher character from Marvel that goes to DC and then brings it together. Says like a Battle World situation, or maybe even a Secret Wars 3 or something. I don't know.
I think the best way to do is to retcon what they've done with Perpetua.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people out there who love it, but like I never read it. But the whole basis of Metal, Chad, I see you raising your hand. The whole basis of Metal was they were supposed to break that barrier, break the source wall, and what was behind the source wall was always supposed to be Marvel.
Yeah.
Well,
so you basically you go and you rewrite Death Metal, right, to have the end of Death Metal be the emergence of the Marvel universe, and you do Snyder and you do Donny Cates and you bring in Pepe Larraz and RB Silva and Jimenez to split the artwork.
See what Chad
kind of is a crossover going on right now in Thor. The second issue of Thor had that alternate universe where you worship the gods, where the God Killer was there. It says you worship these gods, and it had the Green Lantern. They didn't say Hal Jordan or Green Lantern or Jonathan Stewart, but they had Drew. You remember this? Where they had like
the streaks going.
That was kind of a crossover. I was thinking, holy cow, are they really doing this? And that was written by Cates, drawn by Stegman. But you understand that I kind of think that would work if you had a Watcher telling that story.
I mean, I don't think 5G is happening now, and now we can see that Death Metal is becoming the event that Snyder didn't want to happen in the first place. You want to be its own little side thing, So now they could very well do that if they want to do a crossover. This would be the perfect time to use Death Metal to redo the wall.
That's a fantastic point, and I think that's a great place to wrap this up. I know Chad came in here to wrap the thing up. Chad, why don't you put a bow on this one for us, bud?
Guys, thanks for watching us. Tune in this weekend and every day, and we will have something new. With that being said, good night, God bless, and peace out.
All right. Bye.
Bye.